I didn't realize how vast Hinchingbrooke House was. There were kind of two houses within the house itself. So there was the grand part of the house, if you like, where the drawing room was, the library, the billiards room. And then there was the other side of the house where John and Kate lived. And it seemed much more, I guess, warm and friendly. And I could kind of understand why they really stuck to that part of the house. It seemed more like a home.
And now John and Kate share more of their childhood memories with me at Hinchingbrooke.
We lived in the big house and we didn't have very many friends locally. Well, we did, but they were rarefied, like Prince Richard and Prince William of Gloucester, who used to come every now and again for tea parties.
So there was a table and chairs so we could sit out sometimes.
So you could sit outside.
And family photographs were here.
When I married into the British aristocracy, it was the start of a wonderfully exciting journey. But it was also a little daunting. I became a Viscountess, and for an American girl from a small town outside Chicago, that was quite a shock.
I live with my husband Luke, heir to the Earl of Sandwich, and our family at Mapperton House in Dorset.
Mapperton has opened up an extraordinary new world for me, and I can't wait to share it with you all.
So if you love castles and manors and stately homes as much as I do, please join me as I head off to visit some of Britain's most spectacular historic homes. Hinchingbrooke House is a symphony of architectural styles. From its medieval origins to the time the Montagu family lived here, each generation has altered the building to suit its needs. And most recently, Hinchingbrooke has adapted to become a school. But by spending time with John and Kate, it's not so difficult to imagine it as their childhood home.
Look at this kitchen. Ooh, I can't wait to hear what you remember about this.
So in here, there was a great big table in the middle here,
Right.
where Mrs. Small would stand.
She was your
Here,
cook,
here,
Mrs. Small.
and then she could be on the table, or she could be, and this was one long black stove. that,
Lovely.
I don't know whether there's baker's ovens and things.
Look at those, Kate. Remember those?
Oh, that's a spit
That's
up
a
there.
spit. Yeah.
You remember that?
You could turn
Yeah,
that.
but it's been put up there.
I think it was working.
It would have
there,
been in the fireplace.
I think it was working.
Right.
But there was absolute movement everywhere.
So this was busy in here, very busy. So
And the
you
scullery was
had,
round the
in there.
corner.
I love the scullery. But you had breakfast, lunch, and dinner made for you by.
Yes, but that came up in the lift to our floor, to the nursery floor.
So, but did you ever come in here and try to get food?
Yes,
or?
I was forever. Look, this was one of the interesting things about the children in the house. You could not just assume that you could walk through places where people were working. So if she was doing her kitchen work, rolling out pastry, it was out of bounds unless you poked your head round the door and she said, yes, you can come in. Yeah. So there was permission all the time for the children of the house.
Of the children of the house, even though it's your house.
Even though it's your house, exactly. Permission at every turn.
And what was she like? Did she give you?
Oh, she was a lovely person. Yes, she did. Slipped us bits of pastry.
Mrs. Small.
Mrs. Small.
Oh, wonderful person.
Wonderful. So she would slip you bits of pastry and.
Yes, and show you how to do it and allow you to roll it out and all of that.
Oh.
Perhaps not you. Perhaps it was because I was a girl.
No, it wasn't me. That was the way through to the nunnery, we called it.
All right, so we're going through here. So this is the scullery.
Okay.
It's so British, the scullery. This is what I love. You have these names, the larder, the scullery. What else is there?
Well, that was
about it.
There's
Pantry.
Pantry, there you go.
But all had different purposes. You know, they were all different.
Yeah. Well, what was the purpose of the scullery? Remind me again.
Oh, peeling vegetables.
Washing
things
up.
like that.
Washing up, that's right. So this was the scullery here. And do you remember this back staircase?
No, I don't think that was there, but I may be wrong.
Kate and I climbed the stairs to part of the house known as the nunnery. It was here, when their parents separated, that Kate, John, and their siblings lived.
So when this transition happened and you moved to this part of the house, did you still have friends over and
Friends is always an interesting one. Friends is a tricky one because we lived in the big house and we didn't have very many friends locally. Well, we did, but they were rarefied, like Prince Richard and Prince William of Gloucester, who used to come every now and again for tea parties.
This is unbelievable.
And also, but it wasn't the thing for us to just mix with everybody. Although all the children that worked on the estate were our great friends.
Were your great
so
friends,
those
right.
were our friends, really.
Right.
But no, I don't remember lots of children coming into this part of the house.
Right.
I don't remember lots of other children being in the house at all.
So we're now entering the
This
nunnery.
is very strange indeed, because this was a completely different. In fact, of the school buildings, this is the least recognisable, because every window here through had a bedroom. So there would have been a bedroom there and a bedroom there, and as we go on through, the same thing happens again. Look at this great open plan area; it's lovely, beautiful place to work.
There were walls
There
here.
were walls. Yeah, absolutely. They were all little rooms, except for the end room, which was the big sitting room, which went across the whole of the width of the building.
Okay.
And then there was a passageway the whole way up here. And in fact, it was rather good because you could run all the way along, and there was a bit which went over something below, but it was a sort of little bit of and you could jump over it.
Like a bridge,
so
almost
it
like
would go da 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 to the end.
To the end.
Running up and down the passage. No, it was some.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so it was all passage, this bit where we're standing. Yeah.
So I'm envisioning this bedroom there, bedroom there, bedroom there. That's 5 bedrooms and a corridor along here.
That's right.
And then what leads into
my mother lived at in the end bedroom.
So she's moved from that room I just saw, which was lovely with a spectacular balcony, to sort of here, low ceilings and
Yes, but she wasn't here all the time because she was in London. And we had the governess and the people looking after us, a nanny.
Right.
So Mum wasn't really featuring much, except for weekends she'd come down.
She'd come down weekends.
Because she was doing art, she was painting.
So you literally lived 5 bedrooms across here, sitting room here.
Yeah, you make it sound as if it was an odd thing, but for us it wasn't odd at all. It was just completely... what we'd been told was going to happen. So you just do what happens.
Know that's what children. That's what children do.
Yes.
I think it's quite cozy.
Yes, it's quite cosy. It's a nice warm temperature. No, it was cosy compared. The rooms are all very little compared to the big rooms we had in the other house.
Right, and it's very cozy.
Yeah. No, it was nice. It was
good. No, it is. Well, I think
good.
the
We
windows.
were happy here. That's good.
Yeah.
Even though it was blowing a gale outside, we ventured out to see where the late 19th century west wing of the house once stood. And it's here where Kate and John played as children.
This is where we got onto stilts once upon a time, Kate and I. And we went up and down on stilts, didn't we?
And then, do you remember there were big red pots on here? Big red pots.
Right.
And in them, you knew when summer was coming because the wallflowers were exchanged for geraniums.
Oh, what an observant
Now, can I ask a question? The wing that was demolished,
Yes,
was
John
that
knows
coming out
this.
here?
It was, yes, there were arches all the way down here.
Yes.
All the way down.
But John, did it come off the end of this?
Yes, it was connected with that.
Whoa, it's going to blow, it's going to rain now. Steady!
Julie, there should be a cedar tree.
Yes, John, there's a stump.
Is it there?
There's a rump. Look,
There's a rump of a cedar tree.
look.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Is it there?
yeah.
God, we're going to get there.
That's the rump.
And you used to climb this.
Good
Yes, we
God.
did. I don't think I can work out any footholds there. Can you, John? Right, we've had it. Come on.
Better not.
When the sun returned, we tried again.
Clear.
This is lovely.
Clear. This is fantastic.
Really
Yes,
good.
look at this. Isn't this beautiful?
Beautiful.
I remember the bicycle on here too, going up and down these paving stones. Can you remember the unevenness of the paving stones?
I can. Roller
And we
skates
were
was
on
the same.
stilts, playing with stilts.
Playing with stilts, it's lovely.
And then this was all previously covered by arches, and the offices, I think they were bedrooms at that
Right.
time, by the Edwardians, and my father pulled down the wing.
Pulled
Yes,
down the
and
wing.
I have that photo of before the wing was pulled down.
This would have been service rooms, staff rooms, previously.
Staff rooms.
Staff rooms.
And then we
Okay.
lost all the
Okay.
staff too.
What do you remember of here running around playing, you know, kitchen garden, all of that? Because I have this lovely photo of your mother and she's in trousers and she's in the rose garden with somebody and she's got a lovely basket.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
also
that
in the
was
film.
all in the rose garden, which was just over there, through there.
Right.
I remember my father weeding the creeper. There was a creepers all the way along there, sort of wisteria and
Pruning,
things
a lot
like
of
that. A lot of
pruning.
pruning
Yes,
along
he was
that
quite
wall.
good at pruning.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of pruning.
A lot of pruning.
And what about this door? Did you ever,
Yes, we can't use
That
that
was
door.
the flower room.
the flower room?
Mum's
Yeah.
flower room, yes.
You had
It
a
was,
flower room?
Well, she kept, you know, if you went around and picked flowers in the garden,
Right.
she'd take them into there and then put them in vases to put on
Can't
in the
even stand
guest
up.
Yes.
rooms.
We'll all
We'll
link
all hold
arms.
on. Link
There we
arms
go.
on. Oh,
Now we
God, my
did have
skirt.
sometimes we
There
had
was a
tea.
little yes, we had a little table and chairs there
This should be a
in
nice
this
place
little
to
spot,
stand.
and there should
actually.
be a door there somewhere.
just stand.
Yes.
Yes.
Should we stand
These are
in here?
These are the wheels from the mill.
Oh,
These are the what?
Brampton, I think.
the mill wheels
Oh, the mill wheels.
from
Well, it
Brampton
could be from
Mill.
Brampton.
Brampton Mill. Wonderful.
That was a good idea, wasn't
This
it?
is
I
very
never
quiet.
remember that
No,
being
this
made.
is much better here.
This is a nice place to be.
Oh, look at these irises, aren't they beautiful?
And this was the church, the little chapel,
The chapel.
where we on Sundays we had prayers. So there was a table and chairs so we could sit out
So
sometimes.
you could sit outside.
And family photographs were here.
This
Yes,
a good place for that.
you'll see. It's
Div.
obviously a nice protected bit.
it certainly is.
Those irises are smart, aren't they?
Yeah, very smart.
Lovely.
And then this right here, obviously we're coming up to the library.
Yes, this is the
This is the
lovely
bow
window.
window.
Yeah.
Beautiful. But that's obviously Queen Elizabeth I.
Yes,
What's-
Kate, we
Oh yes,
only
the
learned
cipher
that.
at the top there.
It was 1564, but that says 1602.
That's when it was put up, obviously.
That's when it was put up.
Yeah.
Oh.
But this wasn't always the position of this great commemorative bow window. After a fire in 1830, the east front of the building was dramatically changed, and the window relocated to where we see it now.
All right.
See how it was completely rebuilt, you see, where the bow window was. So you can't tell where it would have fitted
No.
in.
So that's where it was. I
Is it on
see.
there?
Right.
There's so much architectural history to discover at Hinchingbrooke. And next time, I meet up with Tom Wheely, one of the history teachers here, who explains how parts of the building have evolved from their medieval beginnings to what we see today. There's one room at Hinchingbrooke which still bears some resemblance to the time when John and Kate lived here as children.
Oh, this is exciting, coming back into the
Oh yes,
library.
with that beautiful glass. Gosh, I remember this room was really not coming in here very much. I mean, you all
No,
have
it
a
was a
different
grown-up
feeling.
room,
It's a grown-up room.
And people playing cards is what I remember. Well, as it is now, I mean, it was generally a very quiet room and you could come in and work here. And there were some wonderful bound volumes.
Yes, beautiful books, always. Do you remember that on either side of these steps there were bushes? Can't
No,
remember
I
what the
don't
name of it
remember
is. You don't remember that?
No,
Yes.
No,
You
it's
see,
a
I
very-
remember things like the trees really here, because didn't Sarah and Anne have a favourite tree? That it wasn't the cedar tree, I was told. It was a beech tree that
beech
was
tree we
called
call
cubbins.
cubbins. Yes, we call it
Cubbins.
cubbins.
But I don't see a beech tree
No,
that
it's
could
gone.
be
I think
cubbins.
it's-
Is it
I
gone
think-
completely?
well, it might be just behind that one,
But
I
the
can't
trees in this garden are quite, you know, as children, we knew about the cedar
We
tree
ran
that
a
was
lot
round
up
the
and
lot.
down here, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Lots of stories.
Yes, absolutely. And the
Croquet.
daffodils that I see are still down there.
Are they still out?
Yeah, well, just.
Do you remember the old family film that was taken from the roof? It was looking out over the railway. That was
Yes, I do
over in
remember
that direction.
Yes, I've seen it over the years.
That was taken by my father and then by Sarah as well. I think it
Oh,
was
look.
joined
There
on.
you are.
Oh, Julie.
Oh,
So
Julie,
very
how
good.
kind.
No,
Very
it's
welcome.
the least I could do.
Special
Right.
biscuits.
To your family home.
Where
I
are
think
you
that
going to
was,
sit?
that's John's, yeah.
So for me, this room, the library, you know, and listen, I know I'm coming at it from my American point of wow factor, but this really is a wow factor type of room. I mean, it's just Montagu everywhere in this room. What are your recollections of this room? Because it was a library when you were growing up, is that right?
We
Yes,
were
it
just
was.
trying to remember. It was
Because
one
again,
of those
it's one of
rooms
the,
we weren't allowed in.
we didn't come in much. You thought games and things, but I
Oh,
don't
I
remember.
definitely
And
remember.
people sitting around and chatting and being in here. It was used as a sort of secondary.
After dinner kind of
Yes.
room with cards played.
The library, one of the most impressive rooms at Hinchingbrooke. The walls are lined with books, but it's the amazing stained glass windows which really seize your attention.
So Kate, since you're heraldry, Kate is an expert on heraldry.
Oh, she's not an expert
Yes,
on heraldry.
she is. So now this is the
your
perfect room. This is
Yeah.
your moment. This is your perfect room. And really, honestly, I don't understand. Obviously, I understand the Montagu coat of arms, but when we look at these stained glass and you can see the lozenges on one side and then another family partial coat of arms, what does that mean? Because throughout these stained glass, it's not just the Montagu coat of arms, it's sort of split.
Well, when you married, you brought in the coat of arms of the wife or the wife's family. So it would be divided. So
Because back then, you would always marry somebody, well, most likely somebody who had a title or comes from a aristocratic family. Is that right?
I suppose that would be right. Yes, yes.
The Montagues were always trying to draw attention to their grandeur. That's the basic thing about these whole windows. I mean, you wouldn't otherwise see that
No, of
in any
course.
other generation, I don't think.
When you found out that it was being sold, did that conjure up any emotion of sadness, or were you attached to the place, or yeah?
Not in my case.
Oh, he's not right. He minded hugely.
Well, we were all at school, you see, us older ones.
You've minded hugely over the years that it's not been here and not Mapperton.
You do.
Right.
No, and you do.
I don't. I simply don't. Life moves on. How could I possibly feel that?
No, but during
I was too young to get attached
I
to it.
remember having a conversation with you when you said that you were rather sad. That
How long ago?
the whole point was the inheriting from a long line of people in through the family, about, I don't know what, 20 years ago, and that it was really rather sad that we had to move.
Yeah, Luke feels, I will tell you that when Luke and I came here in December, we came here just to take a photo on the outside, and we happened to be here when it was open for its Christmas fair. We couldn't believe it. And Luke and I walked around for an hour, and I can get quite emotional, and he didn't say a word. Not a word was spoken. And I think Luke feels, it was quite poignant for him, and he feels sad that your father felt he had to sell it. The relationship with the family is everywhere. It is the family. This is the family. The carvings, the lozenges, the stained glass, and even evoking your memories today, that is the family. And it's, for me, I loved listening to your stories because I'm trying to imagine it and envision it, but there's a sadness for me as well because the story stops with you both. It would have been rather wonderful to have lived here. And
It was wonderful living here.
yeah.
I'll just say one thing about the school, though. They've been extremely generous to the family. Those teachers who
Yes.
know about
Yeah.
the family history. And we have been welcome back here at any time.
Of course.
And so, I feel also that we've come to terms with the changes that have come here.
Yes, and I mean,
Yeah.
think of it being used by hundreds of children over these years. That's delightful.
Yes.
We were 6 wandering about in here. Now there are hundreds of them.
Yes.
And all that is wonderful.
Yes. Seeing the two of you together has been something I will never, sorry, never
She's going to
forget.
cry, I
I'm
have a
going to
feeling.
cry because
I think it's extraordinary, and I think seeing the two of you together, brother and sister, and reminiscing, and that's what life is about.
You are sweet.
So,
Julie, we're going to look at the archives and the photographs, and we're going to relive again and again. I know.
Yes, we will.
I know.
Yes, and that's,
We've got lots of those.
But being able for me to spend time with both of you is really special. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to say a huge thank you to all of our American Viscountess patrons. Without the support of our patrons, we would not be able to make these wonderful historic house episodes that's really bringing history to life. If you are interested in becoming an American Viscountess patron, do check out patreon.com/American Viscountess. Here you'll get early access to all of the episodes, plus a lot of other behind the scenes content, goodies, and in particular, if you do like that 1957 convertible Corvette that you see me in, you get a signed photo of that as well. So do check out becoming part of our American Viscountess community at patreon.com/American Viscountess. Okay, great.
He always says perfect. When
Yeah, he does.
When we're not sure
does.
that it is. Yes, exactly. All right.
Yay! Did we get that on camera? I love that. That was, I liked that we're ending this way, sort of a photo on camera, and we'll all walk out together.
Walking out together.
Arm in arm so we don't blow over.
That's right. Where are we going to go?
Which way, John? This way.
We're
John's taking me this
in the
way.
middle. You'll have to run, girl.